Do you know what this is? I know you think you do.
I'm going to tell you what it is, and more important, why it matters. Gideon's nickname was Jerubbaal, which means Baal will contend. After Gideon broke down his family's altar to Baal, they gave him this nickname, Jerubbaal. In other words, let Baal deal with him. We can't do anything with this kid. But Gideon's faith was not always so strong. When God called on Gideon to defend Israel against the Midianites, Gideon asked God for a sign. He put a fleece outside and said, "Make the fleece wet and the ground dry." When God performed this miracle, Gideon said, "Now make the fleece dry and the ground wet." So God did that too. How many of us are just like Gideon? Later, when the Midianites were invading, Gideon gathered 32,000 Israelites to fight them. But Gideon didn't really get it. It wasn't about him. God needed to teach him a lesson. So he sent 22,000 of those Israelites packing because they were afraid. But God wasn't done teaching Gideon. When they got to a stream, God told Gideon to send packing all the Israelites that lapped like dogs, and only keep the ones that scooped the water in their hands. Those guys must have been really thirsty because there were only 300 of them left. But God wasn't done teaching Gideon. He brought him down to the enemy camp, which is described as being grasshoppers or the sand of the seashore. And I'm sure Gideon was afraid. So God brought him up real close so that he could hear what the Midianites were saying. One man told about a dream that he had of a barley cake that rolled down the hill and crushed his tent. The Midianites, for all their numbers, were afraid of Gideon, and more importantly, Gideon's God. And now Gideon worshipped God. When Gideon returned to the 300, he announced, "Arise, for the Lord has delivered into your hand the host of the Midianites." And then he gave them an empty pitcher and a trumpet. When they blew the trumpets, they smashed the pitcher, revealing the torch that was inside them. "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon," they shouted, and then the Midianites fled. It's a great story of faith in God, and especially poignant for us today, because archaeologists have found the inscription Jerubbaal at Khirbet el-Rai in the Judean foothills not far from Lachish. The inscription is dated based on its stratigraphical context, pottery typology, and the shape of its letters to approximately 1100 BC, the time of Gideon in the Bible. So why is it important? The name Jerubbaal, inscribed on a broken pot dating to the time of Gideon, is an amazing confirmation of the veracity of the Bible.
So what is it? The Jerubbaal Inscription. But then, you already knew that.
Hi, I'm David, and I really need your help to get the message out. Please subscribe to my channel, and watch the next one.